Halloween origins, pagan roots. Many of our traditions and holidays we celebrate today can find its origin in the distant past. As history progressed, pagan ritual and tradition became Christianized and modernized. One such holiday is Halloween. Samhain. The ritual of Samhain is thought to be the origin of Halloween. Samhain finds its origin in pagan Celtic ritual. The Celts are an Indo-European people who predominantly find their origins in Gaul, Iberia, and the Britons, Boii, and the Galicians. The Celts were at their peak during the Iron Age, but can be traced through Proto-Celtic language during the Bronze Age. The Celts were pagans and had a close connection to the land. Celts followed a polytheistic pantheon with a dual supreme deities. The father, likely Tutatis, who is the god of the tribe and represents the dead. The mother, who represented the earth and fertility. The Celts had four major religious festivals, with fall being the topic of this particular video. The fall festival, known as Samhain, or Summer End. Samhain was the most significant of the four fire festivals, taking place during the fall equinox. The festival would represent the time to reap the harvest. When the harvest was complete, the Celts would join the Druid priests and create a large bonfire. The Druids would get a wheel to spark a fire. The wheel was meant to represent the sun. The Druids would then bring cows and sacrifice them at the altars. When the ritual had been completed, the Celts would gather the fire and relight the fire in their hearths. Samhain was a mandatory ritual that lasted 3 days. Those who did not participate in the ritual were believed to be punished with sickness and death. Samhain was a time where the Celts believed the underworld and the world of the living merged. To prepare against the dead that would haunt the living, the Celts would carve fruits and vegetables, an act that predates the ritual of Samhain. Offerings were also left outside of the homes of the Celts for the fairies. The act of carving fruit and vegetables would eventually be known as jack-o'-lanterns. The art of carving human faces on the fruit find its origins before the ritual of Samhain. Scholars have attributed the act of ritual representing war trophies, and the carved human-faced fruit and vegetables would represent the severed heads of their enemies. This ritualistic practice was later adopted to the ritual of Samhain to ward off evil spirits and fairies that would seek to steal the souls of the ritual participants. Another way to ward off evil spirits that walked the earth during Samhain was to adorn disguises. The purpose of these disguises was to be as scary as possible or to dress like animals, to trick the evil spirits into thinking that they were spirits themselves and be left alone. The dead ghosts and wraiths would come from Siddha, or burial mounds. The ancient Celts would dress as monsters or animals to ward off evil spirits and fairies who would attempt to kidnap the living and bring them into the land of the fairies. Fairyland, otherwise known as Elfame, was the land of the fairies and fays. The land of the fairies were ruled by the court or queen of Elfame. During the burning period of the Scottish witch trials, many of the accused witches claimed to have had communion with the Queen of Elfame and her fairy court. Those who would commune with the fairy queen would receive special powers or knowledge, which often led to the recipient being burnt at the stake for witchcraft. There were a few specific monsters that would appear during the festival of Samhain. One such monster was the puka. The puka was a shape-shifting monster akin to the Native American legend of the Skinwalker. The puka would receive offerings from the field to stay away from the villagers. Another such monster was Lady Gwyn. Lady Gwyn was a headless woman dressed in white, followed by a black pig that would chase wanderers and travelers when they traveled at night. Dullahans would also appear during the festival of Samhain. Dullahan were monsters often depicted as headless horsemen who carried their head in their hands. The horse had flaming eyes, and the appearance of a Dullahan would represent a death omen. The last monsters to be feared during Samhain would be the Slaw, or fairy host, who hunted and kidnapped people during Samhain. The Slaw would come from the west and steal the souls of the unwary. The ritual of Samhain is still practiced today. The basic building blocks of Samhain can be seen in the holiday Halloween. What other cultures influenced the creation of Halloween? Let me know in the comment section below, and for more Supernatural History TV, like and subscribe.